Yes, I did see Back to the Future, the musical, and yes, it's fantastic. This is peppermint tea we're drinking today. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Britt. I am an author, actor, director. I'm a dog mom, cat mom, lizard mom, and all-around geek and creative. If you haven't subscribed yet, you probably should, because you're on a fun adventure, hopefully. So welcome to my year-end video. My year-end video, I sit down every year and just kind of reflect on the year. The year previously, I ask myself a bunch of questions for me today, and then we ask questions for future me again. So let's go ahead and get started. What a year. What a year. What a year it's been. It's been a rough one, but also filled with fun adventures like this, which I was not actually an adventure. I literally just went downtown Minneapolis. So it was here for my birthday, so thank you, Broadway, for a wonderful birthday present that I had to pay for. So question number one from last year, how's Apollo? He's good. Hi, Bubba. Oh, yeah, it's just my Bubba. He's doing real well. He is gonna be 4, which is weird. He's doing real good. He is crazy as ever. He's done a very good job at becoming the dog of the house, which is also really great because at first, when he wasn't very vocal, the one thing I was slightly concerned with was if he were to feel like something was a little nefarious, that he would not alert me to that, like Cosmo did. Cosmo would see a leaf flying in the backyard and start barking. So he was definitely a protector of the house. However, Apollo has been starting to become very protective of the house, which is really great. He's still not super vocal, but he's vocal when he needs to be. So I feel like that actually alerts me a little bit better. Cosmo had very specific barks or growls that he would have when he was nervous. So at least I knew to be alerted during those specific barks. But when Apollo barks in weird situations, so normally he'll bark, for example, let's say he's down here and he wants to be up where the action is with us upstairs. He'll bark in that scenario. He doesn't bark like us just sitting here. You know, he doesn't really bark. He's not a very vocal dog. He doesn't bark at the cat. He doesn't, well, sometimes he barks at the cat, but it's very rare that he barks at the cat. He doesn't bark when he hears my parents come home and we're down here or anything. Like, he's just not super vocal. So when he is vocal in a situation that he's not normally vocal in, that alerts me, and that's really great. Yeah, I mean, aside from that, he's doing great. He's doing real well. We went to the dog park a lot this year, and so he's had a lot of really great socialization, especially with my sister's dog, Miko, who's coming in a few days because it's almost Christmas. So for me, filming, it'll be after Christmas. The animals are fighting again. Anyway, it'll be after Christmas when you see this, so. How is Nova? Nova's good. She just hissed the dog. What I think really is funny about Nova is she's not afraid of the dog. Like, she has chased the dog numerous times. She makes sure he knows who's boss. Sorry, I'm just making sure that this does not escalate into something that I have to intervene with. But not that he's ever mean to her or would ever hurt her, but you know, can you leave the cat alone, please? Up on the couch, please. Thank you. Just like that, he just ran by the cat. And she charged at him. So she is not afraid of him. She puts him in his place, which I think is really funny. It's a very similar dynamic to the one that Cosmo had with Corvette. If you guys remember Corvette, who passed away back before I got Nova, so quite a few years ago. She passed in 2019. So anyway, very similar dynamic to that. So how's Irwin? He's good. He's mad at me. Well, he was mad at me yesterday. So yesterday while I was at work, I decided to tidy up my office a bit because it had gotten a little unruly up in my office, which is where Irwin lives, up in my work office, my actual bill-paying job office. And so I decided to clean up there because we're having family come over for Christmas Eve, and especially my nephew likes to go up and hang out with Irwin and likes to mess with him. So not mess with him in a bad way, but like hold him and stuff because he's a diurnal animal. So unlike the leopard geckos who are asleep when they're here for the most part, he likes to be able to handle an animal that is not asleep. a reptile that is not asleep. So I wanted to make sure that that was nice and clean up there. So I brought the vacuum up there at one point and started vacuuming, and he's not a morning person. We'll just put it that way. He's not a morning dragon. He is definitely a don't bother me until I've had my coffee dragon, and he doesn't drink coffee. So he gave me the death glare all day at work yesterday. So I thought that was pretty funny, but no, he's doing well. Roaches still remain his favorite form of protein, which is great. I often have nightmares of roaches getting loose in my house. In the wintertime, I don't think it'd be such a big deal, which is happening right now, wintertime in Minnesota. But I still have a weird little anxiety about roaches, even though like I am very like, oh yeah, Apollo also knows how to use the dog bells to go outside. I'll be right back. He actually learned that from my sister's dog. My sister's dog was taught that when he was in his foster home, and so my sister continues to use it. So then when Miko stays here, I want to make sure I had a bell here for him. And through a week of Miko living here pretty early on, of my sister having him, yeah, Apollo learned how to use bells. So I now have a set of bells upstairs as well, because we are spending a lot of time upstairs, and we'll get to upstairs in a minute. So yeah, I am very like specific of how I handle the roaches and how I ensure that they never get free and stuff. They go into a ceramic bowl that they cannot get out of, which is in a glass tank that they cannot get out of. So like, I am not really all that concerned about it, but at the same time, like, I will still have nightmares of roaches getting free. How are the Leos? My leopard geckos. My leopard geckos are great. Well, kind of. So I've got Van. If you're unfamiliar with my leopard geckos, or if you're unfamiliar with my zoo, we have almost called him Cosmo. We have Apollo, my golden retriever, Nova, my cat, which I thought she was behind me, but she's clearly not. And then I've got Erwin, my bearded dragon, who is the newest reptile to the brood. And then I have 4 leopard geckos. So you can see, this is Langley's tank right here. Surrey's tank is right next to his tank. And then Haro you can see right there. And then right by my bed is Van. So I got Van first, then Langley, then Surrey, then Haro. They are all named after something Vancouver related. So Van is short for Vancouver. And then Langley and Surrey are both suburbs of Vancouver, which I think are also like in the UK as well. And then Haro, oh, there's Nova. And then Haro is actually twofold. One, you might remember from very early on in my time here on YouTube that I used to be really into anime, specifically really into Gundam. And Haro is a little robot that is just super adorable and I love. Plus, when I was in Vancouver, a lot of the Gundams back in the day were dubbed over in Canada, specifically in Vancouver, some up in Calgary at Blue Water Studios, but for the most part, mostly in Vancouver. Sorry, my bangs are interesting. Anyway, they're a little too long. I need to get them cut. Plus, when I was in Vancouver one time, back in 2012, I was driving downtown and came across a street called Haro Street. So when I got Haro, I was really struggling with a suburb to give her as a name, but I landed on Haro because of those two things. The dog wants in. Life with a dog, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody in between. Anyway, did I lose anyone? No. There was a span of time that I was concerned that we were gonna lose Van this year. I'm still not entirely sure how long he has with us. He's not holding on to his fat on his body as well as he used to, so I just don't know what's going on with him. I'm hoping to move upstairs where it'll be warmer more often than down here. I feel like will hopefully help him, but at the end of the day, like, he is within the time frame of a normal leopard gecko's lifespan. So, because they can live anywhere from like 15 to 20 years. Because I got him in 2011, it'll be 2025 next year. So he's getting there. So I just don't know. Langley is actually my second oldest, and I am quite surprised that he's lived as long as he has, because the start to his life was really rough. And then Surrey is the next one. She is doing well. So is Langley. And Haro is also doing really well, which again, I was kind of concerned about Haro because she's also pretty stunted and pretty small. So I was I've been concerned about her a little bit too, but she's doing great. She's thriving. She is thriving like the queen she is. Did you finally move upstairs? Nope. Yeah, this has been a constant question over the last few years because the whole plan is for me to move upstairs, my parents to move down into this unit, for me to take over the house, essentially, house payment and everything. We've been slowly building up to that since I've moved in, because what a lot of people don't fully understand, and I think it's because there's a stigma against people moving back in with their parents, but also I feel like people think that when you move back in with your parents you don't pay rent, and that might be true for some people. And it was true for me for a little while because when I first moved back in with my parents, the reason why is because we were in the middle of a recession, and it actually took me almost a year to find a job, which ended up being a very low paying retail job that ended up becoming extremely abusive. You guys might know that story, but if not, I'll put a link to that story up here. Ended up becoming an extremely abusive job, and I slipped into a very massive depression that my parents did not feel comfortable with me moving out on my own because they wanted to be able to monitor it just in case they needed to intervene with my mental health stuff. So if you catch my drift, it became more of a permanent situation for me to live here. Plus then once I started making enough money, working my way up into retail management, and I was starting to make enough money, my parents did start charging me rent. And then it just turned out to be really great because it was less expensive than me trying to find rent out in the wild. Plus it was helping them financially, so it just was a win-win situation for me and my parents. However, my parents are now at a point where they want to retire, and they are building a house on Lake Superior, which has been my mom's dream her whole life, was to live on Lake Superior, and literally like on Lake Superior. I think I've shown you guys their house, not their house, their land. Their house did not exist yet. Their house exists. As a matter of fact, my dad just got a text yesterday from the builder saying the house is done. So it's happening, y'all, finally. But there have just been a lot of roadblocks with building the house and stuff that has just been a difficult journey. And at some point, I'm gonna sit down with my parents and actually talk about that, with putting some footage in that my mom has captured and they've captured on their security cameras up at that property and things, just so that you guys can kind of get an idea of what it's like to build a house in northern Wisconsin, because that's where they are building their house, is in northern Wisconsin on Lake Superior, so the south shore of Lake Superior. And so because of that, they can't really afford two houses. So the plan is for me to take over the house, them to move into this unit, and for me to move into the main unit. And it's gonna be really great because I really miss having doors. I mean, I have two doors heading to the outside and one door that goes into the rest of the house, and then one door for my bathroom. And for the last 15 years, those are my only doors. So it'll be nice to have doors again. Anyway, so yeah, I've not moved upstairs yet, but it's finally gonna happen, which is really unfortunate because we thought it was gonna happen a lot sooner this year, or it was gonna happen this year at all. And so I've already packed my things. As you can see here, this is usually covered in books. Not so much anymore. I've packed everything away except for a few choice things I was like, oh, I might read or watch this over the course of the next couple of months. Matter of fact, I kept a couple things out on the off chance that I would need to use them for Twin Cities Con, and be like, I'll be up there by Twin Cities Con. Well, Twin Cities Con has come and gone. And here we are. Matter of fact, I will probably still be living down here at my next convention, which is the console room, which is in January. I need to actually register for that. I look forward to that in February, that vlog. Did I get my elliptical? I thought I talked about that. I talked about that in a vlog. Did I get my elliptical? Yes, and I use it daily. I actually used it this morning. I went running this morning. I am constantly running on it. Like, I love my elliptical. The elliptical has always been, that and biking have always been my favorite forms of cardio. That and swimming. Swimming is also one of my favorite forms of cardio. Well, I guess technically martial arts. Okay, I like cardio. Let it go. I just don't like running on like a treadmill or outside or on a track. It's really hard on my joints, really hard on my feet, and it's just not as fun as running on an elliptical. So, but I have been running on it. I try to run on it 5 days a week. And for the most part I do. There are, like this week I missed 2 runs, so I ended up running on a Saturday, which is today, where normally I would be doing weightlifting on a Saturday, but I did miss 2 workouts. One was because I didn't sleep well the night before, and I can't have coffee, I can't have caffeine, so I was just too tired in the morning, and my body just was not going to be able to sustain a 30-minute run. And then yesterday morning, I didn't run because I ended up oversleeping because my phone died throughout the night because something, either me or my cat, knocked my phone off of the charging pad that it was on, and it died throughout the night. And so I didn't wake up until my second alarm went off, which, I mean, I guess technically I still would have had time to get up and run on my elliptical, but like, I don't like feeling rushed. And so I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna make the executive decision. I'm just going to take care of myself this morning and not. But no, for the most part, I do run Monday through Friday for half an hour every day. First thing in the morning, I get up and put on my workout clothes, let the dog out, let the dog back in, and then I get on my elliptical for a half an hour. It's actually part of the reason why you'll notice I have not been filming videos in that corner with all of my art, and that is because that's where my elliptical lives, is in that corner. So can't film there anymore. It's fine. I actually got that elliptical before that video last year went even live. So there was like an end of the year deal that they were running, that this $1,500 elliptical was only $1,000 or something. I don't remember how much I paid for it anymore. And I was like, done. And so I bought it, and I mean, it has paid for itself over the year. So did I get a walking pad as part of that same question? No. I will. I actually have one, like, ready to go, the one I'm gonna get, but I want to be upstairs with my new electric sit stand desk, and not down here where it's a little bit harder to walk on a walking pad during my live streams, or playing The Sims, or editing, or what have you, right? So when I move upstairs, I will get a walking pad at some point, where I'll be able to walk during those times. Did I release another book? No. Lots of things happened this year that made that a little harder. So I spent actually a good portion of the beginning of the year not writing much at all. And the reason for that was because I had some mental health stuff that I needed to work through. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Did I actually go to Texas? I did! I went to Texas to see the solar eclipse, and it is still one of the most magical things I have ever seen in my entire life. If you ever get the opportunity to see the eclipse in totality, please do. It is one of the coolest things in the entire world. I vlogged my experience going to Texas and hanging out with my friend Kay. I have 3 whole videos about my trip to Texas, so do watch those. So the question on top of that was, how was that? It was wonderful. It was, I mean, as wonderful as it can be to be in Texas. You know, I got to meet my friend Kay in real life for the first time in 14 years of a friendship. That was an incredible experience. The only YouTube friend that I have not yet met in person is Matthew, and aside from that, I've met everybody that I've become really close with over the years on YouTube. And so yeah, that was a lot of fun, getting to try different things that are from Texas or that we don't have up here. That was a lot of fun. Just getting to hang out. I got to hang out with a friend from work that lives in Texas. That, again, I've never met her in real life until then. And yeah, I had a lot of fun. Did I get to see the eclipse? I did. There was some there was some worry that we weren't going to actually be able to see the eclipse because it was very overcast at the beginning of the day. Apparently that's a thing. Apparently that happens. It probably has something to do with science that I don't understand. It was very overcast in the morning, and then, I mean, there was still a decent amount of clouds when the eclipse was actually taking place, but luckily we got to see it, and it was so very cool. Like I said, probably the most magical thing I've honestly ever seen in my entire life. Like that, I cannot believe that happens. Like that is the coolest thing in the world. It's been on my bucket list since we had an eclipse when I was a kid, and we were only like 50% totality, I think. And it was like second grade, and we walked out with the like little boards that you can walk out with, and we walked out onto the patio of the school in the playground area with our little things in our hands, and we watched like half of the eclipse, or you know, the sun like half taken over by the eclipse with those little boards and on the pavement, and it was the coolest thing. And I was like, one day I want to see a real eclipse. Plus obviously there was a whole thing in Power Rangers that where there was an eclipse and the Megazord lost all of its power with the Green Ranger miniseries, and so those two things combined made me just want to see an eclipse in real life, and it did not disappoint. It was the coolest thing in the entire world. I'll link all three of those videos down below, but the eclipse one will be linked in the video. Did I get to try In-N-Out and Whataburger? I did! Whataburger was fine. In-N-Out, I still miss In-N-Out, but I have made In-N-Out style burgers, especially the like animal style with the animal style sauce since then, and so it's not entirely missed. It's just missed that I get to just go and order it at a restaurant, at a fast food joint instead. Did I get into a new groove with YouTube? Not really. I mean, I did post more than I have over the last couple of years since I stopped posting every week, or the last year when I stopped posting every week, but I definitely posted more. But that being said, I did not get into any kind of consistency. I did start out pretty consistent. I don't know. I didn't film. Partially because I wasn't sure what I wanted to talk about. You know, because I'm trying to navigate a shift in my content a little bit. I mean, I'm always going to talk about geeky things because that is what I built this channel off of, and that's something that I'll always do. However, that being said, I do want to try and utilize this channel as, you know, places to, you know, a place for me to express myself creatively, share my writing journey, that kind of thing. So I am shifting the focus a little tiny bit, and just trying to figure out how that fits, as you'll notice from the last few videos I've put out. How's Deepwater going? So if you don't know, Deepwater is my debut novel. It is a contemporary romance novel that I am very proud of. I started writing it in 2018 during the thing we don't talk about, the November Writing Challenge, back when I was still supporting the nonprofit organization. But the November Writing Challenge, I wrote this, and I finished it I finished the first draft because I took a little bit of time away from it. At one point I was like, writing's not really my thing. I mean, it's always been, but like, I don't know. I had some issues. I have some mental health issues that I need to work on, that I need to be like, no, I'm worthy of telling a story. That was more or less what it was. And so I finally finished it in 2022, the first draft, and then I spent 2023 finishing it up and released it at the end of 2023, in November of 2023. And so it's been out for more than a year now, and I've made some money off of it. It's certainly not profitable at this point, but yeah, it's going well. If you want to buy my book, I have a link to how you can do that down below. Any other fun adventures aside from Texas? I went to downtown Minneapolis to see Back to the Future, and I went to downtown Minneapolis to see the Book of Mormon. Do those count? I actually did do a short form vlog of me going to see Back to the Future, which was kind of fun. I was going to do the same thing for Book of Mormon, but I ended up not for some reason. I don't know. I kind of forgot to film it, basically. Not really. Did I? Nothing that I remember. No, I really didn't. Did I get another dog? No. No, I did not. I even said last year it's contingent on me moving upstairs to getting another dog. So nope, just Apollo still at this point. But I do know that Apollo will do better with a companion because he does so well when Miko is here, except for he does take on some of Miko's bad habits, but I'm sure Miko takes on some of his bad habits. So, you know, that happens. I know I said your friend's name and that made you alert. Anyway, no, I did not, but I will get another dog when I move upstairs. Not immediately, but I will. Any new artwork? No. I had painted an orca and it's hanging up in my office, my work office right now, with a glaring mistake on the side. I didn't paint the side. I didn't paint the side of the canvas on like one little corner, and it bothers me tremendously, and I keep daydreaming that I'll take it down and paint something there. But yeah. No, I really haven't painted much since then, for no other reason aside from I packed 6 months ago, thinking I was going to move at the end of summer, and all of my painting supplies went with it, are now packed away. So, how was your year off of staffing conventions? It was good. I'm not going back to staffing. I have now officially considered myself retired from staffing conventions, and I feel really good about saying that. When I first ended up taking a break because of the pandemic from staffing conventions, I was like, we'll see if I go back. And I did. I did go back, and then I went through another big trauma, very similar to, not similar as to what happened, but I was re-traumatized from the GeekCon situation with the conventions I no longer mention publicly. So I was re-traumatized by that situation, and I was like, nope. So I lived out the agreement that I'd made with another convention that I still love and still will likely attend if they do come back. I would very likely attend as an attendee, but I will not staff again. I'm done staffing, and this year kind of proved that. I kind of enjoyed going to a couple of different conventions just as an anonymous attendee. It was kind of fun. It was nice. And yeah, but it doesn't mean that, like, if I see something that is like, oh, this is poorly staffed, I still am very critical of it, but it is nice to be able to start enjoying conventions again. So, anything new with my personal life? No. I did start dating again, and I hate it. I was hoping that something might come out of the dating thing this year, but all I have learned is why I hate dating, because I am a straight woman who dates men, and therefore I am often let down. So just waiting for that right guy to come along, sweep me off my feet and say, this is gonna work out for you because you are worthy and I want you. I don't want to fetishize you because of your larger body, and apparently that's a fetish. I'm not just some creepy dude on the internet you've never met before a day in your life hitting on you. Like, why are men? Like, that's my question. I mean, I love men, don't get me wrong. I love men, they're great. Not all of them are terrible. I do choose the bear though, so always choose the bears, ladies. Did I keep the bangs? No, I got rid of those. Yeah, I kept them. I'm actually quite surprised. This is the longest I have ever kept bangs. Generally speaking, by the time I go get my hair trimmed again or cut again, they have become so long that the stylist just works it into the cut and they've grown out. I did grow them out between these I usually trim them myself, but I did let them grow out this time between trims. I do have a couple more weeks before my next trim, so I'm still gonna wait for it. I just wanted to see how long they would grow without me trimming them myself, because the last time I went in for a trim, my stylist laughed at me. Though I do need to find a new stylist, because I've gone to this place a couple of times now, and both times they've cut my hair uneven. So Leah, if you're watching this, do you want to come over and cut my hair? because you would do it better. Anyway, moving on. Just text me. And any of my friends, just because I feel weird about asking Leah myself, can you be like, hey, watch this video, Brittany's your help. Did I film and edit the documentary as I was going to do for moving upstairs and my parents' house? I mean, no, because I'm not upstairs and my parents haven't moved into their house yet. Yes, the stuff has been filmed for the documentary for my parents' house. God, why can't I just have my bangs in such a way? Because they're too long. That's the problem. They're too long. Okay, and they irritate me. Stuff has been filmed for the documentary for my parents' house, but I have not edited anything together, nor have I sat them down for a proper interview. So, no. How's your health? It's good. So my mental health, which is far more important to me because mental health is a big part of your physical health. So unless you are mentally well, you will never be physically well, right? So work on your mental health, folks. It's important. But again, it's also important to remember that nobody owes anybody health, and health is gatekept by the rich, and that's only going to get worse thanks to the way people voted this time. If you voted that way, get out of my page. I want nothing to do with you. It's been a lot better lately. I have been a lot less depressed. I have been very anxious, but I've been a lot less depressed, which is a plus for me. I'm eating. I think I've said that before in videos where, like, to know how I'm doing with my mental health, at least I'm eating, right? I know I'm eating and I'm exercising on a daily basis, and honestly that has kept my mood up quite a bit. Not that that is a cure for depression, it is certainly not, but there is something to be said about endorphins. Exercising gives you endorphins. Endorphins make you happy, and happy people don't pew pew their husbands. I don't have a husband, but I can confirm that I wouldn't want to. I would hope I wouldn't want to anyway. Anyway, no, my mental health has been a lot better. My mental health has been a lot better. I spent a lot of this year really focused on my mental health, which is hilarious considering I spent a good portion of this year depressed, but I still spent a good portion of this year working on my mental health. I'm doing better. That's all I can ask for, right? And how about the physical health? Actually, my physical health has always been pretty good. Like, I've always had a really good level of physical health, even though I am a large-bodied person, and so, oh no, I'm an oxymoron. I'm some kind of weird anomaly. I'm a healthy fat person. Actually, the majority of us are healthy. It's just your fat phobia. No, my health has actually been even better because obviously I am working out on a daily basis now. I have one day where I don't have a scheduled workout throughout the week, and unless I miss a workout, but even when I miss like one of my like runs on my elliptical, that doesn't mean I'm not working out that day. I still danced. I danced throughout the day on my breaks and stuff. Like I do some cardio during the day as well. It's not like I don't do anything. But no, like my heart rate has decreased exponentially since getting on my elliptical so often, and I'm feeling better. I'm breathing better. I have a lot more stamina. Like, I cannot tell you how much that elliptical has changed my life. So even though my blood work has always come back really, really good, I think my physical health has even taken a step up further. But that is not to say that I'm gonna sit there and be like, you should get yourself an elliptical, because I could afford one. I was very lucky to be able to afford one. I am also an able-bodied person, which I also fully understand not everybody is. I want to make that abundantly clear. It works for me, and it's what helped me increase my health. What works for you will work for you. Please talk to your doctor, your mental health expert, you know, maybe a physical therapist or a personal trainer about what your body can and cannot do, and how you can elevate your health as well, if you so choose to, or if you even can afford something like that. Just want to throw that out there. How's martial arts? I still do it on a daily basis, but I don't belong to a school. Same as last year. How's the live stream I'm doing with Kate? It's doing really well. We haven't done one for December yet. It was supposed to be today. It's not gonna be, but it was supposed to be for today. It was supposed to be, actually I think it's last week. It was supposed to be. I don't know, we've changed it a few times this month. It's gonna be next weekend, I think, if I remember correctly. No, it's going well. We have a lot of fun. We have some regulars that come and hang out with us, and it's great. And it's helped me stay accountable. Okay, get your shit together. Anything outstanding? You might recognize that this looks a little different. The camera's actually pretty close to my face. And you can see so much around me that you've not been able to see before. I made what turned out to be a really emotional decision. I didn't realize how emotional I was gonna get over it, and I never actually cut together the video that I was gonna do announcing what I did. I just kind of like secretly got myself a new camera. I sold my old camera on Facebook Marketplace, and I bought myself a new one. This is a Canon EOS R50, and I got a wide angle lens. So like my old camera, this is what you would have seen. I think roughly, yeah, I think this is the farthest out it would have gone. And now we can go out all the way to 10. So we love to see it. We love a wide angle lens. I have filmed a few videos on it thus far, like my Twin Cities Con video. That was filmed on this. It was the first video that I released with this, which I thought was gonna be my November writing challenge, but then I totally realized that I would be uploading the Twin Cities Con video first. But yeah, so my Twin Cities Con video was the first video that I released with this. Obviously the first I started filming on it was my November writing challenge. The subsequent vlog, the vlog that I filmed last weekend on Friday of last week upon filming this on the 13th, and I released it. Well, it came out just on Thursday upon filming this, whatever day that was. The 19th, that was also filmed on this camera, obviously. So 3 videos. This is the 4th video that I've released with this camera, and I love it. It didn't come with the wide angle, it came with a regular lens, but I've only really used the wide angle on it. So, because for what I use it for, wide angle just makes better sense. Anything else outstanding? Not really. Not really. I can't really think of anything, but yeah, good Lord. 2025. 20 years since I graduated high school. I'm old. Okay, anyway, let's move on. So the second part of the video, I don't think it's half, but the second half of the video is me asking questions about next year. So 2025 Brit, you have now been out of high school for 20 years. Congratulations. It happened May 20th, 2005. So May 20th, 2025 will be 20 years since you graduated high school. Okay. So here are my questions for you, and I hope they are all positive. Okay. How's Apollo? How's Nova? How's Erwin? And how are the Leos? Did we lose anybody this year? God, losing Van is gonna be pretty much as hard as losing Cosmo was, because he's been my buddy for so many years. Did we finally move upstairs? Like, and if not, what the actual what happened this time? Because literally upon filming this yesterday, my father said he got a text saying that the house is finished. Why haven't you moved upstairs yet? Did you accomplish one adventure vlog a month? So we're bringing back adventure vlogs. So if you guys have been here long enough, you will know that when I was unemployed for almost a full year, I made a, what was it? No, it was a year and a half. Yeah, it was a year and a half, not even, it was more than a year, because I moved here in July of 2009. Yeah, because it was right after Cosmo's birthday. Moved here in July of 2009 and got hired at PetSmart in November of 2010. So it was actually more than a year and a half. Holy Anyway, so while I was unemployed, looking for jobs, but also trying to get myself theater jobs and things like that, I was making a new video every single day throughout the course of 2010. And a lot of those have been privated because yikes. But also I did what were called adventure vlogs, where I would take the camera out into the real world and we would go on some kind of adventure. Sometimes it was a convention, sometimes it was something else. So I do want to start that up again by going on fun adventures and showing you guys the coolest things about the state that I live in, except for those times I won't be in my state, like April. Actually, it'll come out in May probably. But I'm going to Colorado and I'm going to go back to Madison. Gonna go stay in the GeekCon Hotel for the first time in a long time. It'll be almost 8 years when I go there, when I go back there, because I'm gonna go see Wicked live on stage. So yeah, the movie came out and holy that movie is so good. So Wicked's always been my second favorite Broadway musical, and since I first saw a bootleg version of it that somebody just recorded when they were on Broadway with Kristen Chenoweth and Idina Menzel a goddamn million years ago. I've seen the original cast through a very crappy recording, somebody just in the theater recording, which don't do that. Like, I feel like it's great because in some respects, I think it's great because not everybody can see Broadway shows. I've never been to an actual Broadway show. Like, I've never been to New York to see a Broadway show. I've seen Broadway shows. I have a whole vlog of seeing my favorite Broadway show. Oh, there's nothing left in there. That's right. I finished that. But I've never been to New York to see a Broadway show, right? My mom and I actually kind of like worked out what it would cost to go to New York to see Wicked, because it's never left the Gershwin Theater. It opened on the Gershwin Theater. It's the, like, I think third longest, something like that, Broadway show in Broadway history. And the only time it ever closed was during the pandemic. And yeah. So my mom and I actually kind of worked that out, even though it's gonna be in Madison and it's gonna also be Milwaukee and I think Peoria, Illinois. And those are the closest places that I could possibly go, but we're gonna try our hardest to get tickets to Madison. I don't know, the first time I tried to see it live was actually when I was living in Bemidji, my freshman year of college. And we were all trying to get tickets to it and to the tour. I think it was like the very first US tour. And the tickets sold out in minutes. And so because of the success of the movie, I am very concerned. So I will be logging in to buy tickets the day that they go on sale. I know the exact date at the exact time they're going on sale, and bitch, you know I will be on there. But if I don't get Madison, I could possibly get Milwaukee, or if I need to, Peoria. And then my mom was like, or we could just go to New York. And so, I don't know, that might happen. I doubt it, but it might. So anyway, I want to do that. And yeah, and I'm going to go to a couple different conventions next year. One that I've never been to, a convention type that I've never been to. I've never been to a Doctor Who convention, and I'm very excited about the console room in January. So I'm going to take you guys on some fun adventures. I've even thought about driving up to my hometown for Beanhole Days, which is a fun thing that I haven't been to since I was a kid. We eat beans from a hole. I wish I was kidding, but I'm not. They dig holes in the middle of town and they cook beans, slow cook beans in those holes all night. And then we come back the next day and we eat the beans from the hole. Beanhole Days. It's a thing. Look it up. It's in Pequot Lakes, Minnesota. That's where I went to high school. Anyway, but also my 20-year anniversary, or my 20-year reunion, is happening this year in 2025. So that's a thing. And I've also thought about taking you to Lake Itasca, which is where the Mississippi starts. And so you guys can see how tiny the Mississippi is when it first, you know, pokes out of Lake Itasca and things like that. I just think that those kinds of things, go to Duluth and have some fun. I mean, going to Duluth is going to be so much easier because my parents are not going to live as far away from Duluth as we currently live. We'll just put it that way, because I mean, Duluth is also on Lake Superior. So, you know, it's in decent driving distance to spend an afternoon. Take you guys to Duluth, take you guys hiking and this really cool hiking trail right outside of Duluth. Like, so many fun things I want to do. So many fun things I want to do. So anyway, that whole long ass explanation about this question, did I do the thing? Did you release any more books? specifically right now, you are looking at releasing The Man from the Stars, which is the first book of the Sequel Chronicles, which is a book you really need to be working on right now. God damn it. Do you expect me to share this water? You have your own water. I'm also looking at releasing a Halloween rom-com and a Christmas rom-com. Both will be Disney retellings. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And then of course, there's one that I finished, a first draft that I did finish this year. I'm currently calling Price Check on Love. And it's a workplace romance, but specifically set in retail management because that is my experience, is retail management. I have never had a workplace romance in retail management. However, that's what it is. How's work? I didn't ask that last year. Work for me this year was actually pretty good. I got promoted. I mean, I'm still relatively in the same position, but it's elevated. My same position has been elevated. And now I'm salary, so goodbye overtime. But yeah, so how's work in 2025? Specifically, am I no longer working in the same department that I'm currently working? Because I'm really looking at getting out of my current department. I am so done with that department. I love my job. Don't get me wrong. I do enjoy my job. It is not the worst way to spend 40 to 45 hours of my life a week, but and it pays the bills, which I'm very thankful for. And I get pretty good retirement benefits, 401k and a pension, even though I have to contribute to the pension, but whatever. Ugh. Anyway, it's a whole different thing. But yeah, how's work in 2025? How is it? How is the end of 2025? What did we do this year? Did we do anything fun? Anyway, moving on. How's your personal life? Still dating? Because it's rough out there. Are you dating anyone in particular? Chances are very good you're not going to talk about it publicly on the internet, because chances are very good you're going to end up in a relationship with someone who doesn't want to be on the internet as much, so you'll have to get used to being in vlogs. But dating anybody fun? Aside from that, how's your personal life? Things with friends? Did you do anything fun with friends this year? Like, did you guys just throw caution to the wind and go somewhere fun with your friends? Did you do that at some point? Like, which friends? Where'd you go? What'd you do? How's your mental health? It's always a roller coaster. It's never, there is not a single day that is the same as the next with my mental health, I swear. It's a lot, y'all. How are your athletic goals going? So I do have some athletic goals. I never thought my athletic goals would be running, because I don't like running. I don't like it. It's like my least favorite form of cardio, but when I run, I like to run on my elliptical. But I do want to start transitioning that to running at some point. Ooh, God, these bangs, let me tell you, they're just so much. Okay. Specifically, did I get back into biking? Because that's another thing I really want to get back into, is biking. Last time I tried to get back into biking, I realized that I needed to get into better shape. Oh my God, these bangs. I think we're good. Stop touching your bangs. Stop doing it. Okay. Anyway, I do want to get back into biking. Last time I tried to get back into biking, I realized just how out of shape I am. And now I feel like I'm in relatively better shape because I've been running on my elliptical 5 days a week for the most part. So did I get back into biking? I want to run a 5K. Is that too much? No. Actually, I technically already have. I have on my elliptical run the equivalence of a 5K, which is 3.1 miles. It did take me a little over 30 minutes to do. I am running at like in between a 12 and 11 minute mile, generally about 11 and a half minute mile. So I'm getting there. I do want to get up. My ultimate running goal as far as speed is concerned, I would like to run an 8-minute mile, but right now I'm focused on just getting to a 10-minute mile, which I'm getting close. So did I run a 5K this year? Did I run a 10K this year? Because eventually I want to do a triathlon. Like, that's always been kind of a weird goal of mine. Another really weird goal of mine is to bike basically from my house to the house I grew up in, but for security purposes, it would be really just from like, I don't know, a close iconic area. I'm not too far from the Mall of America, so I'd probably maybe start from the Mall of America and bike to the Breezy Point Resort, which is the resort in which lives in the town I grew up in, which is Breezy Point, Minnesota. So anyway, that would be like a fun goal that would obviously make into content, hence the privacy thing. And did I get seriously back into martial arts this year? Mostly right now it's cost is why I'm not into it. Did you get another dog? I'm gonna keep asking it until I do. Did I set up my cichlid tank? So I do have a 55, the 55 that my frog used to live in. If you don't remember my frog, I used to have an American bullfrog that I raised from a tadpole. Her name was Nodlight. I named her after a Gundam. She passed away in 2021, shortly before Cosmo did, a couple of months prior to Cosmo's passing. And I don't know, so I was trying to decide what I wanted to do with that 55, and I landed on the cichlid tank I've always wanted. So I want to do specifically a Lake Malawi African cichlid tank, which is, you know, bumblebees and johannies and just really vibrant, beautiful fish. So did I set that up? Because I'll hopefully be living upstairs. Are you posting on YouTube more often? I do want to get back into posting hopefully weekly videos at some point in the near-ish future. I don't know if it's gonna be next year that I'm gonna eventually work my way into doing weekly videos again, but I do want to post more often. So am I posting more often? And did you see any Broadway shows this year? Like Wicked or any others? Wicked is the only one that I'm thinking about right now. I'm sure there will be more at the Orpheum, which is just downtown Minneapolis, that I want to see. There were a couple I want to see this year, obviously, like I said, Back to the Future being one of them. Book of Mormon just kind of fell into my lap. It's not that I didn't want to see it. I did want to see it, but that one just kind of fell into my lap. A friend of mine couldn't go, so he sold me his ticket. And then I ran into my friend Kelly, which was fun. It was funny. She called me just as I was pulling into the Hawthorne parking ramp, which is like just right behind the Orpheum Theater in Minneapolis. I was literally... Stop touching the bangs. I was literally just parking and she called me and she's like, "You busy today?" And I was like, "Kind of, why?" She goes, "I'm at the Book of Mormon with an extra ticket. Did you want to come?" And I was like, fun fact, I am just parking at Hawthorne right now." So we hung out for a bit. It was a good time. I love my friend Kelly. I'm sure there will be some at the Orpheum that I want to see. There are a bunch that I want to see. Oh, they're doing Grease at the Chanhassen Dinner Theater. I do think I want to see that too. Did you see that? Did you go to the Chanhassen Dinner Theater? Because that, I do want to see Grease. I've never seen Grease, the Broadway show. I've obviously seen the movie. I've never seen the Broadway show. Now, mind you, not the biggest fan of Grease. It's not my favorite. Just in general, I don't love the tone. I don't love the messaging, but I do want to see the Broadway show. How's redoing the upstairs going? So I'm going to be repainting and styling each room one by one. There's only one room that I'm gonna do professionally, and that's gonna be the kitchen, because I'm not gonna trust myself to paint cupboards. So how's that going? I'm anticipating that taking about a year to do. Did you go to any new convention this year? Because you're planning on going to the console room, which is a new convention. You're thinking about doing a full weekend at Convergence, which is probably not gonna happen, but we'll see. I did one day this year. I did one day in, I think it was a Saturday that I did. Specifically wanted to meet one person, but turns out he was only there on a different day. And I didn't look at that prior to buying my ticket. And did you table at any of those conventions? Another author that I know, Hurry Cosmo, we're thinking about getting some tables together at conventions to try and sell our books. That's something we're thinking about doing. I've never tabled. So I have so many different types of badges at conventions, and one of the ones I don't have right now yet is a vendor or / artist. So that's gonna be really interesting to get that badge finally. So how was the trip to Colorado? I kind of talked about it a little bit earlier. So I'm going to Colorado. We're just doing a family thing. We're gonna go to like Estes Park. We're gonna go do a haunted tour of the Stanley Hotel up in Estes Park. Like, we're just gonna do a fun little family thing that I'm very excited about. I haven't been to Colorado since 2010, and I love mountains, so I might not come home. Have I taken any voice lessons? Because something that I've always wanted to do is get back into singing. I used to sing, I used to do musical theater, and then I had some vocal damage, and then I stopped singing, and, well, I mean, I still sing, but like, I don't sing the way I used to because I never learned how to sing around my vocal damage, and so I've thought about, for many years, for probably about 10 years, I've thought about getting a vocal coach to learn how to sing again around my vocal damage. So did I take voice lessons this year? Anything new? Anything, what? Any new, I think I just typed anything and didn't mean to. Any new creative endeavors, like anything fun, exciting. Did you get back in the theater? Did you paint? Did you draw? Did you do anything aside from YouTube and write? And then, like always, anything outstanding. Anything that you're not planning on doing, like buying a brand new camera. Didn't plan that last December. Anything that I'm not planning right now that ended up happening over the course of 2025 that you want to share with everybody. That's where I'm at. Okay. So there you have it. That's my year-end video. Can't believe another year has come and gone, y'all. What the heck? And the dog is sleeping. He's actually not. He's actually just staring at me. He's bored. But yeah, that's all we got today, man. That's my year-end video. Surrounded by my animals. Nova's on top of Suri's tank right now. She likes the heat from the heat lamp, and we got Suri and Langley and Haro and Apollo back here, and then Van's just over there, and then Erwin's 2 stories up. So anyway, that's all I got. Let me know in the comments, if you're still here, let me know in the comments what happened to you this year that is probably the coolest thing that happened to you this year. Like something you were not expecting to happen just happened, and it was really fun and exciting. Like I want some positive thoughts down below about your year, because even though like there are a lot of things that really sucked about this year, there were also a lot of things that happened that are really, really cool, and I'm very, very happy. Like I said, I got to a point of running multiple times a week, 5 days a week for the most part, on my elliptical, and I have been experiencing so many health benefits from that. Even though I've always been a healthy person, it felt really, really good to get back into shape in a way that I really have not been focused on for many, many years. You know, it's been a nice journey. And this new camera, it's fun. I like my camera. It's beautiful, and it's smaller than my old camera, and I got this wide angle lens. That's all I've got for y'all today. I hope you all have a great New Year's. I hope you all had a great holiday, whatever you celebrated or are celebrating right now. And we got a mess to clean up in 4 years, so I'll leave you all with that. And after all of that, I realized I was gonna wear something completely different than what I'm wearing right now, but I totally forgot. Wait, I should probably do my end screen. So if you want to see my like eclipse experience, you guys can click right here. If you want to see my Twin Cities Con video, you guys can click right here. If you want to subscribe, you can click right here. Please do hit the bell for notifications when you do subscribe, and leave a comment and a like on this video, so that it gets lots of engagement, so that it gets pushed to the greater YouTube area. See y'all next time. Bye.